Hi, welcome to Gene Rants. I'm Gene, and you're not going to hear much ranting from me today because I actually have good news. Well, it's good news if you're a conservative or if you live in New York. And as I have mentioned, whether you're a conservative or liberal, whether you like it or not, this is actually good news about New York. I've mentioned in the past many times, and I'm sure I will many times in the future, and I am mentioning right now that I lived in New York for 41 years. That's why I talk about it a lot because I go back to, first of all, I go back to visit the people there at least once a year. I've been going, and sometimes twice a year. I would like a livable city to uh, be there. When I get there, I would only be there for maybe a week at most. So hopefully New York could accomplish being livable for a week, for just 7 days. But I do feel for the people who have to live there. Uh, they can't, don't want to leave or can't leave. Unlike me, I did leave. I left in 2019. I'm in Tennessee now, where I'm recording this video, but there are other people that are there. And, it's about the mayoral race, all right? It's only a city race, but as I'm sure you know, it's been national news. There is a candidate, Zoran Mamdani, anti-Semitic communists, basically. The two pretty much go together, by the way. But anyways, that's another vlog for another day. The point is that everybody has been talking about his election being inevitable. First of all, because New York is so liberal and he won the Democratic primary, but also his opponents. Curtis Sliwa is Republican, wouldn't give him much chance, which is you would think, right? We'll be getting to that in a moment. You would think he would have no chance to win, which to me doesn't make sense because New York was almost a disaster when I moved there in 1977. You had Abe Beame was the mayor then, and then Ed Koch, who was kind of okay. David Dinkins was a disaster, and he actually defeated Rudy Giuliani, got elected, but he was, after one term, the city got wise. They threw him out. They elected Giuliani, who was such a good mayor. Remember 9/11 when everybody was calling him America's mayor until he supported Trump right now. Now he's persona non grata in New York City. But he did such a good job his first term. He was reelected, and they had term limits, so he couldn't run for a third term. He would have won. Now Bloomberg came after him, Michael Bloomberg. Problems with him, but he did run the city well. He was mayor he found a way to run for a third term. So maybe if they were smart, they would bring New Yorkers. They would at least bring back. I would say water under the bridge with Giuliani. Bring him back. He was, like I said, the best mayor of New York the whole time I was there. But Bloomberg was not bad, and he is now a Democrat. So bring back Bloomberg. But anyways, everybody was talking about the inevitability of Mamdani winning the mayoral race. And because he won, he beat Cuomo by 12 points in the primary. But as some people said, well, that's the primary. That's only a fraction, maybe 5% of all New York voters. All right. So it just the nature of New York and the opposition. Sliwa, as I was saying before, I kind of got off on a track. Republican, you would not think he would have much chance. Cuomo, all kinds of baggage. I mean, he had, never mind putting old people into nursing homes, forcing them to nursing homes during COVID so they can infect other nursing home residents, and a lot of old people died. That's number one. Number two, there was the reason he was mayor, he didn't get defeated in an election. He resigned because of allegations of sexual misconduct, sexual harassment. I forget the exact charge against him. Now he's running for mayor. So I thought he wouldn't have much chance either. I was thinking everybody that Cuomo and Sliwa should drop out and get behind Adams, who is the current mayor. And lately, he's been doing a decent job. My understanding is, but there's this poll that just came out that really, really surprised me and gives me hope that New York can still be saved. Harris X NYC poll. Tight race emerges in New York City mayoral general election, but Cuomo stronger than Adams against Mamdani. So he's the strongest candidate right now. I was just saying, get rid of that. Cuomo should drop out. Everybody should get behind Adams. Everybody but Cuomo is stronger than Adams, but this is the really surprising part. A new poll from Harris X finds the New York City mayoral race shaping up to be a tight and competitive contest, with Assembly member Zohran Mamdani statistically tied with former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa in a four-way race. So if you throw Adams in there too. While Mamdani leads Mayor Eric Adams in a head-to-head race, the poll shows Cuomo defeating the Democratic nominee, that would be Mamdani, by a wide 15-point margin in a one-on-one contest. So if the race, I don't think that Sliwa is much of a factor, but if it were a two-man race between Mamdani and Cuomo takes it by 15 points, which really surprised me. And my advice would be for Sliwa to drop out. But anyways, if Cuomo is leading by 15 points in a hypothetical race of just Cuomo and Mamdani, I would think even with Sliwa in the race, that Cuomo wins it, that Cuomo not only wins, but actually walks away with it. And you're going to see why, a little preview, in the next video where, or next vlog, where I'm going to man on the street of what New Yorkers, a lot of them anyways, think of Mamdani. So now it's not surprised, because that surprised me too. The man on the street interview surprised me, but I don't want to fill up this vlog any more, than I already have. But there you go. I guess, well, I shouldn't, be smug, but I can't help it, because I get commenters how socialism is so great, and why can't everybody have free apartments, and yada, yada, yada. And, well, if any of you are watching this, well, of course you're welcome to watch, and I'm always interested to hear, maybe especially interested to hear your comments now with this poll. But sorry, you've been talking about, the comments I've been getting have been talking about Mamdani as if, almost as if he's already mayor, just talking about what he will do. Well, think again, he may not be mayor. In fact, it's looking, if this poll stays, if the results of this poll hold until the election, then, which is not that far away, then, well, you're communist Mamdani, your communist, socialist, Jew-hating golden boy will not be the mayor. And you will have Andrew Cuomo, most likely, to be your mayor. So, congratulations. I can't help laughing. As I said, because I lived in New York, right? And having to vote for Cuomo, it's not something I would look forward to. And, I'm going to throw in something at the very end here about election reform, right? Because I live in Tennessee, as I said, I have for 5 years, and I actually got a letter in the mail from New York asking me to re-register, something about it. Even though they sent it to me in Tennessee, the address was Tennessee, they were assuming that I was still in New York. Long story short, I could. If I was honest, I sent a letter back, and I wrote on the letter that they sent me, I live in Tennessee, I'm not a New York resident anymore. But if I were dishonest, and I do go back to visit New York every so often, and right around election time, actually, I usually go end of October, so I would go the first week of November, when the election, most likely would be, and I could have voted if I weren't honest. So how many people are not honest and got letters like I got? So you go, President Trump, election reform, because it does happen, and sometimes just the city inadvertently helps, and sometimes deliberately they want unlawful aliens to be able to vote, and no voter ID. But in my case, it was an honest mistake, I guess, by somebody in New York, or they just don't care, and they knew they were sending that letter to a Tennessee address. But no question on the letter I got, I would say, okay, you're in Tennessee. Are you still a New York resident? Are you a visitor? Are you coming back? Is New York still your primary residence? Nothing like that. All I had to do was just sign that letter and fill in the form, whatever boxes I had to check, and I could have voted in. I could vote in the New York election coming up, and the presidential election. The state election, New York State, and vote in 2 locations. I could have done it and vote in Tennessee. So there you go. Just thought I would throw that in. But that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. As I said earlier, your comments welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this vlog with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.